Let me start by asking you a question that can change the direction of your entire life if you answer it honestly. What do you really want? Not what sounds good, not what society, family, or culture has programmed you to say. What do you want at the deepest level? Because when you strip everything down, money, success, love, recognition, it all comes back to one thing: how you want to feel. Every goal you chase, every decision you make, every sacrifice you accept is driven by the belief that life will feel better when you get there. But what if the real power isn't in reaching the goal? What if it's in understanding what actually controls how you feel right now? Let me ask you an important question. What do you really want most in life? I mean, really, what do you want most? Money? You want a little piece of paper with pictures of dead people on it? No. What you really want is what you believe money will give you. What do you think money gives you? Freedom, security options, maybe love. How many of you want more love in your life? Of course you do. Some people say, I want to be closer to God. Some people say, I want to make $1 billion. Some say, I want 3 perfect children. Different answers, same truth. The only reason you want anything is because you believe that if you get it, it will change how you feel. You want money because of how you think you'll feel. You say, no, it's what I'll get. But what you get only matters because of how it makes you feel. You want to be closer to God because of how you'll feel. You want your children to be happy. Why? Because of how it makes you feel when they're happy. In the Western world, we think we're just the mind. But you are a whole lot more than your mind. The mind is a tool, and if you don't learn to use it, it will use you, and it usually doesn't make you happy. What you're really after is your heart, your emotions. Here's the most amazing thing: every feeling you've ever wanted, everything you're trying to achieve in your business, everything you're building a family for, every decision you make, every action you take, it's all about one thing. You're either trying to get out of pain or you're trying to get more pleasure. You're trying to change how you feel. Now think about this. How many of you have a goal you believe if you achieved it, you'd be incredibly happy? And how many of you have actually achieved a goal you worked really hard for only to get there and have your brain say, is this all there is? That's a horrible feeling. Failure feels better than that, because when you fail, you don't quit, you get back up and find another way. But when you succeed and you're still not happy, that's dangerous. How long did the happiness last? 6 years? 1 year? 6 months? 6 hours? Here's the crazy part. You did all that work just to change how you felt for a little while, and then you went right back to where you were before. They've done studies around the world asking people 2 questions. What is your greatest fear? And what would be the greatest gift or surprise you could imagine? In the Western world, the number one answer to the greatest gift is winning the lottery, hundreds of millions of dollars. People say, it would change my life. And the number one fear, becoming a quadriplegic. Here's what's fascinating. They studied people who won the lottery and people who became quadriplegic. 3 years later, who do you think is happier? Trick question. Neither. Because after about 3 years, the brain adjusts. The person who can barely move now feels excitement if they move a finger. And the person who won the lottery is often surrounded by people wanting something from them and feeling angry. Both return to about the same level of happiness they had before. So how do you and I create an extraordinary quality of life? We learn that what we get will not make us happy long term. Who we become will make us happy or miserable long term. The real purpose of a goal is not the achievement. It's what the goal makes of you. And here's the key: if you learn to use your body the right way, the emotions you want most, you can experience them right now. When you finally achieve that goal, who's going to make you feel that way? Who creates the feeling? You do. So if that's true, why wait? I hear people say all the time, this is the worst thing in the world. Someday we'll look back and laugh about this. And I say, why wait? Let's look back and laugh now. To do that, you have to understand a fundamental principle. The way you feel is controlled by 2 things: what you focus on. The way you feel is controlled by 2 things: what you focus on and what you do with your body. And the way you move is the most powerful lever of all. When I talk about movement, I'm not just talking about posture. I'm talking about your voice, your breathing, your face, your energy. This part of your face alone has dozens of muscles. And when you keep using the same expressions, you create the same chemistry, same emotions. But the moment you change how you move, How you breathe, how you express yourself, everything changes. Let me ask you something. Is it possible to have a beautiful, successful life and not feel it? Absolutely. Is it possible to have people who love you deeply and still not feel loved? Of course. Is it possible to have massive abundance and still feel scarcity inside? Yes, because if you don't learn to use your body, your mind will override everything. Success does not guarantee fulfillment. Hear me clearly, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. So if you want a better life, you must train yourself to use your body, not just once, not just when you hear this, but every day through simple habits that condition you to feel strong, alive, and grateful. Problems will always show up. And when they do, you want to be able to say, bring it on. But here's what I've noticed. A lot of people have great lives, yet they never celebrate. How many times have you achieved something big, felt excited, and then toned it down because you didn't want to make someone else uncomfortable? And what happens when you do that? It doesn't help them. It doesn't help you. What it really does is train your brain that it's not safe to feel too happy. And over time, that becomes a habit. I've worked with some of the wealthiest people on earth, multi-billionaires, world-famous celebrities, elite athletes, and many of them are miserable inside, not because they failed, but because they never learned to celebrate. Take Michael Phelps. More gold medals than most countries, and he was depressed for years. Why? Because he would work for 4 years, 8 years, and then celebrate for a second and immediately pressure himself to do it again. We had to retrain his nervous system to actually absorb success. So let me challenge you with a new belief. I don't need a reason to feel good. People hear that and say, that's stupid. But think about it. Most people feel bad for no reason at all. They wake up unhappy without a single real cause. But if someone says, I feel amazing, we think something's wrong with them. That tells you something about our culture. There is something wrong with a culture that doesn't celebrate, that doesn't allow itself to feel alive. Because when you're in a great state, you treat people better, you perform better, you think better, you lead better. This isn't about being positive, it's about being intelligent. Staying in a lousy state doesn't solve problems. It drains your energy and keeps you stuck. So it's your responsibility, no one else's, to train yourself, to condition your body, your focus, and your emotions so that no matter what's happening around you, you can bring your best self to life. So here's the truth you don't want to forget. The quality of your life is the quality of your emotional state. Not what you have, not what you achieve, not what happens to you, but how you train yourself to respond. Goals are powerful, but they're not meant to make you happy forever. They're meant to shape who you become. When you stop waiting for permission to feel good, when you stop postponing joy until someday, everything changes. You realize that happiness, confidence, gratitude, and strength are skills you can practice every day. Master your focus, master your body, master the meaning you give things. Do that, and no matter what's happening around you, you'll be in control of how you feel. And when you're in control of your state, you're in control of your life.